Okay, guys, kind of consider this a bit of a redo. I'm still going to keep the original up there, but kind of consider this a bit of a redo on my review for part 12 of Melting Me-I, which is spelled M-E-I, Melting Me-I. It's spelled M-E-I. Um, And yeah, if you could hear me in the last one, because I don't know what it is when I record with just the regular phone's mic, it kind of gets dwelled out. And when I record with an external mic, like what I'm doing right now, it works better. But anyway, what I said in there, I stick by. Basically, part 12 kind of continues where part 11 left off, where Elizabeth, after she is discovered by Mi-I and Zahara, and basically discovered as basically being caught and trying to steal a bit of the elixir, the restoration soak, if you will. She is basically given a taste of the power that Mi-I and Zahara have that allows them to do what they do. And she, being a master of disguise, kind of a shapeshifter, I guess, but mostly master of disguise, um, she's able to kind of get used to it. Like she's in a state right now, or she was in a state at the end of part 11, where she was basically kept, captive in a pressure cooker. Well, Mi-I and Zahara tried to figure out what their next move would be after finding out, because Mi-I's powers, have developed a lot more than Zahara's has. Mi-I is able to figure out, okay, if you're not going to tell me, who sent you or why you're doing certain things, I'll figure it out for myself. And the way she does this at the end of part 11 is she actually drinks the liquefied state of that she put Elizabeth in, and then she basically uses like her inner self, kind of like, in a way to probe her. Basically saying, look, I don't mean no harm. You just need to tell us or else I'm going to find out. So Elizabeth, not wanting to, let her employer be known, she said, Mi-I is like, okay, leave me with no choice. So they figure out, through what Mi-I does, that the person that sent Elizabeth to, try to get the elixir or find out the secret of it, or the restoration soak, if you will, at Zahara's business, is the lady that we met, as I've mentioned before, at the end of part 9, the 2023 sneak preview we got last year, and the lady's name is Lindsay, and she's basically the ultimate entrepreneur when it comes to the massage businesses, if you will, the massage spa businesses, to the point that she owns, a majority, if not a bit, of each spa massage business in the region. So basically, hold on for a second, I get some coffee. Basically, she hires Elizabeth to do this job, and Elizabeth, obviously, you could tell, like when you first meet her in part 9, because we do meet her in part 9. You can tell that she doesn't mean no harm. She's just doing her job that she's being hired to do. And that she's just using the advice that her late uncle, who she was close with, had given her. So anyway, that brings us all the way here, because in part 10, we see that she has disguised herself as, a clientele under the name of Courtney, but also it's hinted at that she's disguised herself as other, clients to try to get a piece of the restoration soak, not realizing that the restoration soak is actually Mi-I, who's basically living out, I guess you could say, her best life and best job, if you will, by being the mud bath, the goo bath, if you will, that people that come into Zahara's business for a massage and massage treatment and all that, they get the opportunity to kind of relax, those muscles even more so in this special bath. And Mi gets to kind of give him a little bit of pleasure in the process, but also by doing so, she's able to feed off their sexual energy and share that with Zahara. So anyway, to get back on point here, they kind of figure something's up, and that's when Mi decides, okay, I'm gonna do a stakeout undercover, and I'm in her liquid state, in her melty liquid state, to see what's going on, and she does, and that's how she ends up giving Elizabeth a taste of the elixir, that gave her and Zahara the abilities, so that she could find out the information. Now, again, she doesn't mean any harm towards her. She just wanted information in the last chapter, part 11. But when Elizabeth wouldn't give it to her, she decided to have to, resort to, I guess you could say, desperate measures to get the information, which she did, finding out it was that Lindsay lady that wants a piece of Zahara's business, and even more so now with this restoration soak that she's offering as a bonus, to the customers that come in. Not realizing that soak she wants is an actual person, if you will. Anyway, that brings us to part 11, part 12, I should say, because at the end of part 11, as I mentioned, basically Elizabeth is a master of disguise, so being given this bit of the elixir, she's able to pretty much adapt, if you will, right away to the abilities. Like when she tries to push up and everything, try to get herself out of the pressure cooker that they have her in, she only can, hit it with like a tenderroll that she creates. But then when she concentrates, she sees, oh, wait a minute, I could change this into a hand. This seems, pretty interesting. And, she starts to kind of like it a little bit, like, hey, if I can get on their side and talk them into letting me join them, I can live out my best life. Like I could still stay on top, but as well as be able to continue using this power, because now she's seeing that, hey, I'm a master of disguise, but this could really, really up my game as a master of disguise, being able to not just turn into anybody or change into anybody different than who I am, but to change into anything. So what happens at the start of part 12 is she's trying to escape. It gets the attention of Mi and Zahara. And she basically tells them, look, I'm willing to help you. I'm willing to help you get information about Lindsay if you help me. In other words, she tries to make a deal with them like, hey, you help me, I'll help you. And what she wants them to help her with is letting her have a little bit more of that restoration soak, because part of what she tried to explain as to the reasoning as to why she was trying to steal, as to why she broke in to Zahara's business to try to steal it, is partially true. Because what that excuse was that she tried to give at the end or during the end of part 11 is she became addicted to it. She became addicted to it, but she also had a job to do. So part of what she said is true, and that's what she's trying to tell them or work out with them here. Like, hey, you help me, get more of this, enjoy more of this, and I'll try to give you, what you want. I'll try to help you expose Lindsay, if you will, for for what she's doing, or at least do something to get her off your backs. So they decide, okay, fine, let's talk about it, and they agree, okay, we'll hear you out, and Mi decides to disguise herself, I guess you could say, as a bit of a dress or an outfit that Elizabeth is wearing. And Elizabeth, as they're entering the Lindsay lady's business, building a business, if you will, Elizabeth looks down at the outfit and it's like, this is not exactly what I was talking about, out and everything. And Miai's mouth materializes, or as Michelle puts it in the story, materializes, onto the upper region of the outfit. And she's just telling her, hey, look, I'm just doing this so I can make sure you're a person of your word. So what happens is they get into a clearing, I guess in the building and all that, to where basically they have a conversation, and Elizabeth is like, look, I have nothing to hide from you. I am telling you the truth. I'm willing to help you if you help me. Now, Mi kind of believes it, but she's like, well, Mi basically, I'm trying to say, kind of believes it, but she's like, yeah, I get what you're saying, but how do I know I can fully trust you? You're going to have to let me know how I can fully trust you, and what she does is basically she gives Elizabeth a little bit of the elixir again, from what I can understand from what I read. Elizabeth, goes gooey again, but shapeshifts, or Mi shapeshifts her into a bit of like a little peach, like a round peach. And she uses her fingers to connect with her again, just like she did previously, to find out whether or not she is on the up and up. And she digs into her memories, because Elizabeth is like, look, I have nothing to hide. You want to see I'm telling the truth? Go ahead. She basically gives her consent. And so Mi does this, and she sees all of her memories and everything, and basically sees that, yes, indeed, she is telling the truth. She's telling the truth about wanting to help them, but also wanting to continue, having and using the restoration soak elixir they have, because she's gotten a bit of, I guess you could say, aroused by it. She's basically become erotically addicted to it, or at least gotten to a point that just the taste of it makes her feel good. So what happens is to basically really affirm the trust that they now have. Mi morphs her mouth into a straw and starts sucking literally Elizabeth's peach shape into her mouth. And what she's doing is Mi transforms herself, or shape shifts herself, into like a little balloon container, whatever, that is continuously slurping in the peach shape that Elizabeth has become. And Elizabeth is just getting Elizabeth, she is just getting off on this. She's just getting off on this in a huge way and everything, to the point that after Mi completely sucks her into her, I guess you can say, balloon shape that she's become, there's no movement. Like, it's complete stillness for Elizabeth, and for a bit Mi, before Mi turns into a vase that still contains Elizabeth in her, and then the opening of the vase kind of curves into a sly grin, smile, where basically Mi is like, I think we've established trust, and all that. Basically stating that, that she now believes and trusts Elizabeth in what she tells her. And that's basically how part 12 ends. Now, to be honest, I thought it was good. It is going in the direction that a lot of fans felt it would probably go. The third part, that is, here in the third season, third installment, year 3 of the Melting Mi series. It's definitely going in that direction that some fans felt it might do, and everything. It seems to be going in that direction. And we'll just have to wait to see what happens on Monday, the 22nd. Because apparently there's only 2 more, maybe 3 more parts to go. We have part 13, which will be on the 22nd, and then Memorial Day weekend, we might be getting part 14 either on Memorial Day Sunday or on the actual Memorial Day, which is the 29th. Now, I don't know whether or not she will give us another sneak peek into next year's installment. She did say in her comment section, if you will, on her DeviantArt page that she already has some ideas for 2024. What those could be, we'll only could guess. But, you know, if she wants us to get excited and pumped for 2024's installment, just like she had us get excited and, you know, pumped for 2023's installment, then I have no doubt she may consider giving us a sneak peek to 2024's Melting Me Eyes fourth chapter, if you know what I mean. But I like what I saw here, or read, I should say, read and saw. I like what we got here. It definitely shows you that it looks like we're heading into a three-way LGBTQ lesbian relationship between the characters. You can definitely see that. You can definitely tell that Elizabeth is being built up as someone that's going to love this power just as much as Miyai and Zahara do, if not more. You can see that. And yeah, as far as the Lindsay lady goes, I've got a feeling that we're going to see her in the fourth installment, in the fourth year, 2024. But I think after next week, if not Memorial Day weekend, but mostly next week, I think that would be the last we see of her for the third season, for the third installment that we're currently in. But yeah, anyway though, guys, I highly recommend checking out the Melting Me Eye series by Desi Arts, Michelle, if you will. I'll provide the links in the description. Again, I'm doing this basically because the other one, it came out all right, but basically the microphone on just the phone itself is, you know, not so up to start, or up to starch, if you will. So using the external one, I think is going to help out in the long run. But let me know what your thoughts are, guys. How do you feel about the series so far? If you've checked it out, what do you see happening next? Let me know down below in the comment section, as well as in the live chat during the premiere. Like the video. Until next time, guys, I will talk to you later. But yeah, give me your thoughts. Love to hear from each and every one of you.